Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And welcome to Keep Her Quick, your latest local news and weather commercial free in about 20 minutes or less. We're going to jump right over to weather because Jefferson, the sun's going to be out to play today, but we do have those clouds starting to roll in. And so it's definitely going to be a wet weekend, it seems like. Yeah,
there are some big time changes coming. Now for today, we are going to be looking at a mixture of sunshine and clouds on this Wednesday. Again, a pretty nice day of weather today after seeing very nice weather on both Monday and Tuesday. To your point, big time changes are going to arrive towards the end of this week. Shower chances are going to be arriving on Friday, and then through the weekend, we are going to be faced with showers and even some mountain snow. As we take a look at the precipitation graphics, I should say, again, for Yakima, Ellensburg, and the Tri-Cities, not looking at too much rain on Friday afternoon, but Friday evening through Saturday is trending pretty damp. And then for Pendleton and Walla Walla, certainly not seeing rainfall through Friday afternoon, but Friday evening and then both Saturday and Sunday trending pretty damp. We'll talk more about this with the Storm Tracker Futurecast coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in Richland. A school district employee is in custody after police say he sexually abused his 11-year-old stepdaughter and her 12-year-old friend. Now, court documents allege the 31-year-old began the abuse when the girl was just 5 years old, and through the investigation, detectives say they learned the person had also been abusing that girl's friend. He appeared in court yesterday for his arraignment.
Enter a plea of not guilty, waive formal reading, and reserve the right to a jury trial to speak court opinions.
Court accepts the not guilty plea to all counts.
Now, a judge set their bail at $500,000. In a statement to us, the Richland School District says the man has been placed on administrative leave from his maintenance position, saying in part, quote, the Richland School District has been informed that one of our employees is under investigation by the Pasco Police Department regarding matters unrelated to the individual's official duties. Now, his next court appearance is scheduled for November 4th. Meanwhile, Kennewick police are trying to track down suspects after a couple of break-ins at the popular food spot Summers Hub. Police say Friday night, someone broke into Brady's and made a mess trying to get into the safe. And then 2 nights later, burglars tried again by driving through the back fence, smashing their side door, and stealing the ATM. The owner of Summers Hub says the burglars caused $10,000 in damage. And with the opening of their new Pasco location, they're feeling the impact.
Police showed up, right away, and it was just a kind of a grab and go act by them, and it just shows what kind of negative impact 2 minutes of destruction can have on a small business. It only takes a moment in time for somebody to make a bad decision that domino affects other people and other families and other people's lives.
Now, police say no one has been arrested yet, but they are still investigating. In Walla Walla, a homeless man is facing a number of charges after police say he tried to carjack a woman's vehicle. The incident happened on October 16th in the 100 block of East Birch Street. Police say the 40-year-old homeless man approached the woman as she was making her way to her car, pointing a knife at her and demanding her keys. She was able to flee, and a nearby citizen stepped in to block the man from the woman while also stopping him from getting into the woman's car. Police arrived a short time later and arrested that suspect. He's facing charges of first-degree robbery, second-degree assault, and attempted theft of a motor vehicle. And a driver is now safe after falling asleep at the wheel, crashing, and then getting out of the vehicle, which then caught on fire. According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to the crash near South Plymouth Road and East Tyrell Road. Luckily, the driver was able to climb out of the car before that fire sparked. We'll continue to update you on the crash as more information becomes available. And we have an update on the kayaker whose body was found in the Columbia River in Walla Walla County. Sheriff's deputies say an autopsy indicates 20-year-old Justin Garcia Montez from Pasco died from an accidental drowning. On October 14th, Garcia Montez tried to call 911 before his connection was lost, saying he needed help and was drowning. Deputies found his body in the river a day later. Sheriff Mark Kreider says the case is now closed. Earlier this week, we told you about a statewide restaurant group calling on the city of Pasco to shut down what it described as a growing network of illegal food vendors. In a letter to the city manager, the Washington State Restaurant Fair Play Coalition says at least 5 unlicensed pop-up taco stands are operating across Pasco without business licenses, food safety permits, or fire regulations, claiming these vendors pose a risk to public health and undermine restaurants that follow the law. Now, the city of Pasco responding to that letter yesterday, saying in part that they're committed to the, quote, health and well-being of our community and will be dedicating additional resources to ensure all food vendors comply with necessary local and state regulations, including business licenses, health permits, and fire safety clearance and insurance. Now, the city went on to say that there's a $40 a month permit that vendors can apply for, and that form can be found up on the city's website. There's a new sales tax that will be placed on all sales in Cle Elum at the start of next year. It was decided in the last meeting of the newly formed Cle Elum Transportation District Board. Sales tax will increase 0.1% to the city's current tax. And according to the city planner, this is estimated to bring in around $200,000 a year. Now, the money would go towards infrastructure projects, street maintenance, and preservation. Monday night, the city's Sunnyside City Council convened for the final step before they can terminate the contract of former city manager Mike Gonzalez. KMA's John Franklin breaks down the meeting.
The special meeting of the Sunnyside City Council for a public hearing regarding the firing of city manager Michael Gonzalez had one notable absentee.
And I think all of us received notification that Mr. Gonzalez was not going to be present at this meeting, which on a very personal note, I am extremely frustrated with this because we all made time in the middle of our workday. I had to do some rescheduling. I don't know how others have had to impact their day. This impacted our city clerk, who normally would take today off. And we went to great lengths to make this available at Mr. Gonzalez's request.
After the public comment section, which was largely in favor of firing, with some people defending the former city manager, the mayor read the lengthy resolution.
Whereas the City Council of the City of Sunnyside had previously adopted Resolution 2025-67 stating their intention of removing Michael R. Gonzalez as city manager without cause, effective either 30 days from passage thereof or entry into a severance agreement. And the City Council of the City of Sunnyside hereby affirms its decision set forth in Resolution 2025-67 to remove Michael Gonzalez as a city manager without cause.
The City Council voted 5-2 in favor of the resolution, with council members Hart and Frausto dissenting.
The council decided to remove Mr. Gonzalez without cause, but that was not unanimous. And, going forward, I think we need to strengthen any contracts we have with future city managers.
Some members of the public called for the internal investigation to be released to the public, as little to no details are known about the reasons for the termination.
Investigation must be immediately released. Council must demand this. The misrepresentation of facts and the reasons for termination must be exposed.
I call for the release of the investigation to the public. We've paid for it, and we have the right to see it.
After an executive session, a motion was called to open the investigation to the public.
I disagree with the motion, and I think that it was an internal investigation. I don't think that it was ever meant to be public.
The council voted to release the details of the investigation 5-2, with Hart and Mayor Breersma voting against. For Action News, I'm John Franklin.
KMA's John Franklin, thank you. And we have submitted a request for the details of that investigation into former manager Mike Gonzalez, and we'll share what we learn when we get that info. And we're continuing our election coverage this morning as we're less than 2 weeks away from the November general election. Matt Brown is running again for Yakima City Council District 6. He joined us in studio yesterday to talk about the work he's done over the past 4 years in office.
Over the last 4 years, I've worked extremely hard to be transparent and accountable to the people of Yakima. We've been able to cut our deficit from a projected, when I took office, from $22 million to $9 million. And I've held many town halls over the last 4 years, about 7 town halls, to get to hear from you, the citizens, and what we need to do to make changes in our city. And because of that, we've been able to hire a local city manager and a local police chief, enacting Yakima values back into city government and accountable to you, the people.
Now, the full interview along with Brown, along with the interview of his opponent in this race, Amy Forrest, as well as the other races on the ballot, can be found up on our YouTube channel. That's at KIMA Action News. And speaking of Yakima City Council, this week's meeting had a slew of agenda items to cover. Amid those were 4 distinct ones: implementing the Yakima Valor notification for veterans in the criminal justice system, funding to provide traffic safety patrols, the city response to the 2025 Yakima Basin drought, and the 2024 trolley report. KIMA's Ty Therian was at the meeting and picks up the story from there.
The Yakima City Council meeting will be discussing 4 distinct topics tonight. I spoke with Bill Preston, the Yakima City Community Development Director, who went into further detail regarding how people at home can get involved.
The City Council has a public comment period for 35 minutes every City Council meeting, and you get 2.5 minutes to speak either in person or there is the online option as well. And so, I mean, you come down to City Hall and do it in person or log in.
The first of the three topics outside of the consent agenda will be the city implementing the Yakima Valor Notification, a program for veterans who are engaged in the criminal justice system. The goal of this program is to reduce systemic trauma from those who have served in the military. The Washington Traffic Safety Commission is providing funds to not exceed $84,500 for the traffic safety programs. And lastly, the city's response to the 2025 Yakima Basin drought and how they can improve upon it for the future. One of the many things on the agenda for tonight's City Council meeting is going to be about the trolleys, specifically the trolley budget going into the 2026 year and how we're going to preserve it long into the future as well. The main decision will be in the hands of the City Council. Bill will present to the Council the trolley's accomplishments from 2024 and whether or not SEPA will be needed.
Tonight we're going to talk about whether or not the SEPA is required for it, as well as providing the 2024 annual report from the trolleys. So in the agenda packet, there is a trolley report that's in there. So it's going to go through, it gives their accomplishments, the different things and that they've done throughout the year 2024, as well as their partnerships with some of the community members. And then it gives the financial data as well as the ridership data.
SEPA stands for the State Environmental Policy Act. It is a policy that takes into account the environmental impact a decision could make. For more information on the City Council, please visit the Yakima City website. Reporting for KIMA Action News, I'm Ty Therian.
KMI's Ty Therian, thank you. The next City Council regular session is on Monday, November 3rd at 5:30 p.m. But with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, in that meeting, they talked about the drought this year over in the Yakima Basin. It was quite a dry year, and there was earlier in the day we were talking about some of the reservoirs that are only in single digits in terms of percentage full. So we definitely had to deal with a lot of that. Hopefully some rain as we work our way into the weekend can help things out a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. Certainly not enough to alleviate the drought, but any little bit is going to help. And we are going to be looking at a fair amount of precipitation as we do go through the weekend. But before we get to the weekend, we are going to be faced with one more fairly nice day of weather around the forecast area on this Wednesday. High temperatures today will crest in the low to mid 60s for the Tri-Cities. Look for low to mid 60s in the Yakima Valley today. Upper 50s to low 60s coming this afternoon in the Kittitas Valley, with low to mid 60s for the Blue Mountain foothills. Now let's just jump into the Storm Tracker Futurecast to talk about that potential active weather coming this weekend. Before we start talking about our area, I just want to note that if you're going to anywhere along or west of the Cascades this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are all going to be exceptionally soggy on the west side, so do be prepared if you are traveling in that direction. But focused more close to home, or closer to home, I should say, on Friday evening specifically is when we are really going to start seeing rain kick up around eastern Washington and northeast Oregon. As we do progress into Saturday, we are going to be looking at a very soggy day of weather coming for the first day of the weekend. Everybody will have the opportunity to see precipitation on Saturday, and then even on Sunday, there is going to be a fair amount of shower activity still around. Even into Monday, lingering showers are going to be seen here and there. Now, in terms of mountain snow, we're not too concerned about mountain pass travel on Friday, as snow levels will be up over 7,000 feet. By Saturday morning, though, snow levels will be down to around 4,500 feet, 4,000 feet by Saturday evening, and then by Sunday morning, we will see snow levels down to around 3,000 feet. So what does that mean? Well, as we take a look at our mountain pass elevations through the Cascades, White Pass does sit at 4,500 feet in elevation, so snow is expected over White Pass both on Saturday and on Sunday. In fact, I believe White Pass may pick up around 10 inches of snow this weekend. Travel over Highway 12 is certainly going to be very wintry throughout the entire weekend. Stevens Pass sits at just over 4,000 feet, so certainly Saturday evening through Sunday, travel could be pretty tricky over US 2, and then Snoqualmie Pass might even pick up some snow on Sunday. A couple of inches of snow over Snoqualmie Pass cannot be ruled out. So certainly consider the mountain pass travel if you are trying to head west of the Cascades this weekend. And now let's talk about one more component to the weather story this weekend, and that is the winds. On Saturday, winds could gust as high as 35 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities. Winds could gust up to 30 miles per hour on Saturday in Walla Walla, with 45 mile per hour wind gusts possible in Pendleton on Saturday. Sunday is going to stay rather blustery, just not quite as strong on the winds as Saturday. So we have rain coming this weekend, we have mountain snow coming this weekend, and blustery winds. Oh, and by the way, I don't have a graphic prepared for it, but we're going to see some pretty cool temperatures this weekend as well. By Sunday, all of us will be looking at highs only in the upper 40s to mid 50s. We'll have more on that coming tomorrow, but right now I'm going to toss it back over to Dave.
Thanks, Jefferson. And we're calling all sweet tooths. You're going to want to grab your aprons and gear up for the spooky Halloween cookie class in Kennewick. A business called Laughing Llama Bakery is hosting their cookie workshop class at Layered Cake Artistry. Laughing Llama Bakery is a cottage food business where they specialize in custom cakes, cookies, and cupcakes. During the cookie workshop, though, you'll learn step by step how to make sugar cookies from scratch.
Likes to say it's edible art, and at the end of the day, you're just going to eat it. So it's okay if it's not perfect. And it's just fun to learn a new skill and do something a little bit different. I love baking because I'm a pretty creative person, and I just love the creative outlet it gives me.
Now, the event will be this Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. Tickets are $65. And if you would like to attend, you can head over to our website, KEPRtv.com. And finally, now that autumn is underway, the end of daylight saving time is gradually creeping up. This year, the clocks will fall back by 1 hour on Sunday, November 2nd at 2 a.m. While some people feel like they'll get more sleep across the country, many will see more light in the mornings and less in the evenings. Daylight saving time will start again on March 9th of next year. And that does it for us. Thank you for watching this episode of Keeper Quick. For more local news and weather, you can head over to our websites. That's Keeper and KIMATV.com, as well as our Facebook pages. But while you're here, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with our latest mini newscasts Monday through Friday. Have a wacky Wednesday, everybody.